Our 15-minute meal tonight is tacos, and we are using ingredient prep to make sure that we get a full meal on the table in less than 15 minutes. Hi there, I'm Sam from Bites of Wellness. Come cook with me. We're going to jump into dinner tonight by starting with our slaw. So I've got bagged slaw mix. It's about 6 cups of shredded cabbage. Got a little bit of carrots in there. And I like to just build everything right in the bowl. I've got tahini here. It's what will make this a really creamy coleslaw without any dairy, no mayo needed. Some apple cider vinegar. That's just going to add a tanginess. And then to that, this is a cumin-inspired slaw. So there's a lot of cumin in here, but don't get overwhelmed. I've got cumin, garlic powder, and salt. And that's really going to give this slaw a lot of flavor. It's going to pair really well with our tacos. So we just want to mix, mix, mix. So one reason it is a really great idea to start with your slaw is because as the salt and the cabbage kind of come together, it's going to wilt out a little bit of the water from the cabbage, which allows you to remix it again right before you serve it, and it'll have the perfect consistency. So we're just going to put this to the side as we make everything else. So when you're making dinner, if you have room on the stove for 2 skillets to go and you feel like you have the capacity to kind of pay attention to both, you can make your rice and your meat at the same time, so dinner will be even faster. But today I'm going to do one thing at a time. We're going to start with the rice. So this has been preheating for just a second over a pretty low heat. And this is that rice that we had prepped a couple of days ago. So we make it once, we use it lots of different ways. We're going to add our rice to the skillet. And the reason we're using a skillet today and not a small pot is because we want the surface area. We want to spread the rice out as far as we can to get it hot as possible, as fast as possible. I'm going to add in about 1/2 cup of water, and this is going to help ensure that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom, and it's also not going to dry out as we reheat it. And last but not least, this is really easy, guys. We're going to add our spices. So this is a garlic turmeric rice. So we've got turmeric, garlic powder, and salt. So we're just going to stir this up and cook it long enough that the rice is reheated and all the water evaporates. One thing to note is that the turmeric will stain wooden utensils, so do not use wooden utensils. And we want to make sure that all of that water gets cooked off so that you don't have soggy rice. I don't know about you, but this looks so pretty. You never would know that this is from essentially leftover rice from a couple of days ago, completely transformed. It's going to be so yummy with our tacos. You can leave this on very low heat on the back if you're doing 2 things at once, or you can just kind of let it sit in the skillet. It'll stay hot for the few minutes it takes to make our taco meat. The main star, our tacos. So today we're doing beef tacos. I'm just going to use some homemade taco seasoning and my secret ingredient for tacos that are extra special, a little salsa. So we just have to brown our meat off. Make sure to let your pan preheat for a minute or 2. That way it's nice and hot. Pretty much just want to cook this like you would any other taco meat. Let it get to brown, and then we'll add their seasonings. We have the meat nice and browned. I did use a leaner. This is 93 lean, so there's only like 7% fat. So if you have a ton of extra fat and the pan, you may want to drain that off before you add the rest of your seasonings and things, but this is just fine. Gonna add in, again, whatever your favorite taco seasoning is, and just a pinch of salt. And then like I mentioned before, one thing that I think really helps to elevate all the flavors is to add some acidity, and the salsa is a perfect way to do that. I'm just gonna mix all this up. Now for the fun part, assembling your tacos. I found that folding up tacos, anything like that, is a lot easier if you warm them up first. And we're just gonna throw this in the microwave for 15 seconds, 20 seconds max, just to warm them up. All right, so for assembly with these tacos, really use whatever your family loves. If you guys love cheese, if you love avocado, whatever you love on top, throw it on there. We're going to keep it super simple today. We're going to add a little bit of that ground beef mixture, and we're going to add just a little bit, retoss that slaw. See how much this has wilted down from when we first made it, and it's only been about 10 minutes. So you really want to give it one more good toss. And then we're just going to add a little bit of slaw on top. Thanks to ingredient prep, we were able to get this whole meal on the table in under 15 minutes. It's super yummy, and I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to check out the freemium below if you want this recipe and more like it. Until then, happy cooking.